If you have a little more than rupees 1 crore, then you can look at the Mercedes GLS and the BMW X7. But you have to spend a little more than rupees 2 crore, to be precise, rupees 2.16 crore to get one of these. This is a Toyota Land Cruiser 300. And when we spoke to people who have driven or owned at least 2 out of these 3 cars, what they told us was immensely surprising. But to understand the full gravity of that statement, you have to learn more about the LC300. If this was the price for a Lexus, literally nobody would have cared. But then paying rupees 50 lakh extra for a Toyota over a BMW and a Mercedes, that sounds like formula for failure, isn't it? But then on the way here today, we saw more Land Cruisers on the road than any GLS or X7, and that says something very important. It says that people are spending that extra money to buy a Toyota over its German rivals because they have that much brand loyalty, that much trust in this brand. When we spoke to a couple of owners, they told us that for this 2 crore car, the service cost for a regular service is about rupees 15,000, and that is super value. After paying all that money, you're going to expect a very luxurious cabin. Well, I hate to disappoint you, but that's not available here. So there's definitely the luxury experience that is lacking. For how long does something new stay new? Look around this cabin. What is your guess? How many kilometers would this car have run? If I have not looked at the odometer, I would have definitely said 1,000 or 2,000 because that's how new it feels. But in reality, this car has run in excess of 10,000 kilometers. And that is why the functionality of this cabin outdoes any luxury cabin for me. Because even now, everything I see, feel and touch feels of very good quality and new. Inside this cabin, you don't get a lot of features such as 3 big touchscreens or a fancy sound system, massage seats and so on and so forth. But even so, this car, it reminds me more, actually makes me enjoy driving more than a lot of luxury cars in the market today, simply because of the way it is laid out. It is extremely familiar. There is no home theater in here, no big touchscreens around the dashboard, just one. It's functional, it's usable, and what more do you need? All the important controls and functions are on buttons, dials, and switches, and that is how it should be. All of the other manufacturers are going towards a style where the car is becoming more of a gadget than a machine. And that is ruining the experience for enthusiasts like us. Here we have buttons. It feels like we're going back to the 90s, yet we are in 2025 because the tech is modern. And that is what Toyota has done extremely well with the LC. And that, in my opinion, today is invaluable because the rest of us are just driving smartphones on wheels today. Traditionally, an SUV is supposed to be big, brawny, muscular, and it needs to have that road presence. The design is supposed to be boxy, but today a lot of luxury SUVs are moving away from that. They have 10,000 regulations to comply to. They have to be pedestrian safe, they need to have ADAS safety and all of that, and they've become more and more aerodynamic. Why? Toyota, the Land Cruiser, is not complying to that as much as possible. This is still a very boxy, very rugged looking design, and that is a big part of the LC appeal. Even now, when this car comes thundering down the road, if you see this in your rearview mirror, you're going to have a bit of respect because that is what the LC commands. This is not a new thing. This has been going on for generations, from the 80 series all the way to the 300 series. And that is a legacy upheld properly. What I like best about sitting in this driver's seat here is that I feel like the king of the road. I feel like the captain of a ship that is unassailable. First of all, the sightlines are remarkable. This bonnet is not sloping away from me, it is right in front of me like a castle over there, and at times it feels like I'm driving 2 cars at the same time because that's what that valley in the bonnet over there makes me feel like. So 360 camera or not, I still know exactly where my car is, and that gives me the confidence to drive this beast of a machine like it's meant to be driven. That being said, I am very sad that we no longer get the V8 in this car, but it is still, even the downsizing in this car does not feel like a downsizing because it is still a big 3.3 litre turbo diesel V6 that produces close to 300 horsepower and about 700 Newton meters of torque. And on the road, that translates into the kind of power that you would define with a ship more than a car, because it moves in a very stately manner And there is a burst of torque that comes in to gain momentum very quickly, but it's not like a sports car. It's not particularly fun to drive, but the feeling of being invincible on the road, that is something only a Land Cruiser can give you. Actually, when going around a corner at high speed, the Land Cruiser feels more like a house on wheels than a sailboat. And to counter that effect, Toyota has given this car multiple driving modes. Two of my favorites are Comfort and Sport Plus. Sport Plus allows me to carry great speeds on the highway and go around corners confidently, and Comfort allows me to tackle all of Indian road conditions at whatever pace I want without any fear at all while being supremely comfortable. What do you get for spending all that money? That is the question we asked the Toyota owners, and what they had to tell us was something that very rarely hear today in the car world. They're saying that that extra money is perfectly fine because for them, what they're purchasing is more than just a car. It is peace of mind, and that is invaluable in Indian conditions.